and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to be sort of apologising and explaining where I have been. I've been missing in action, and I need to update you on everything that's gone on because I don't even know. How long has it been now since the last video? Like over a year? Over a year. I'm so sorry, guys. Sack me. But we're back. We're back and we're better. So yeah, this is going to be sort of like a video of me explaining everything that has gone on and transpired in the last year and a half, and an update, and I will try and be better and more consistent. I don't know, fingers crossed. Okay, so I did 3 trials, which I got a lot of content for. I didn't actually post any of the content, so we are going to clip little bits into this episode of things that I got up to, because I did have an amazing time, an amazing experience at all 3 trials. The first place I trialed was New Balance Boston. Yeah, I went to Boston first. It's been such a long time now, but that is where the HQ of New Balance is. So you can imagine what the facilities are like there, just everything you need on your doorstep. And it was an amazing, amazing setup. Mark Coogan's the coach, who again, great guy, really get on well with him. And the team were great too. But since then, I think the team has literally completely changed since I did the trial. But just with location and things and cost, like living in Boston would not be cheap at all. And then, yeah, just being away from home, like, could I see myself permanently living in Boston and away from the UK? They were the sort of things that I had to like weigh up. But it was a really good insight into the training that they do, which was kind of higher mileage than I was used to. But again, if I'm going to be doing more 1500s, I didn't see that as a bad thing. It would have just been different to what I was used to. Okay, I'm back and I'm with some sunglasses because this British weather is very sunny at the moment, so we've been blessed with a beautiful summer. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I went literally from Boston to Switzerland and went and trained with the complete opposite spectrum of where I'd just been. So as I was saying, Boston was very high mileage, and I then went to an 800 meter coach that specialised more in like sort of speed, gym, drills, which is kind of the opposite to what the Boston group were. They are very like lots of miles, big sessions, and then this was sort of like the complete opposite of that spectrum, but again really works for the athletes and it's very individual. But yeah, it was a great insight. I love the group there. They're a very nice group of girls, and the coach is lovely too, Louis Heyer. He's a great guy, and yeah, it's a really good atmosphere there too. The only thing again was that group turned into an on-running group, and obviously I'm New Balance, so I kind of did the trial there and then realised they were turning into an on-running group. So I was like, well, this isn't really going to work anyway. So from Switzerland, I then went and trialled New Balance Manchester. It was a great group of people, great group of athletes. They're obviously having a lot of success, and it was really nice to get an insight of what they're doing there. Yeah, a little bit more high mileage again because they are sort of 15 5k group. But yeah, it was an amazing time there as well. Unfortunately, when I trained with those guys, I actually went out to Flagstaff and did a camp with them, and I got re-injured again with the same ankle injury that had been bothering me for 3 years. Just constantly on and off with training, couldn't get any consistency. So unfortunately, it was a very hard decision, but I made the decision to go and get ankle surgery. I just thought, if I'm going to give myself the best opportunity and like give myself a real shot, I really need to fix this problem because it has been my Achilles heel, if you like. It's been stopping me, and yeah, just standing in the way of any success. Touch wood, we are actually over a year on since I've had this surgery, and I have been back racing, and it has been the best thing I could have done. So I am so glad I decided to get that surgery. It was a really, really tough time. Again, this is why I sort of went missing. I had a lot to deal with, like not knowing who is going to be coaching you, and kind of just floating by, like trialing all these groups, bit confused. It's a hard decision to make. You've got to commit to something, and you're trying to work out what is the best fit for you as an individual athlete. Then getting re-injured on one of those camps, and just knowing that if I continue this way, like I'm never going to get anywhere because I'm getting no consistency. Having to make the decision to get the surgery was really difficult, but needed. But yeah, I just was in a really, really bad headspace. And this is why I found it really difficult to get the camera out and show you, because I was just in a bad place. Like, I really was depressed, and probably the hardest time in my life that I've gone through. On top of that, my granddad was super unwell. And yeah, it was just, when it rained, it poured. It was a really tough time, and I was going through a lot. So yeah, it just didn't feel right to like get the camera out. And I'm sorry, because I said I'd show you the highs and the lows, but this is just something that was really difficult for me to kind of express, and yeah, just something I wanted to deal with privately. So I'm hoping now that we are out the woods with all of the negativity, and then we can just kind of get on a bit more of a consistent kill, just like showing you my day-to-day life. And yeah, just, I will obviously still have low points, and I'm more than happy to show that, but this was like next level. A lot of things just all on top of each other, so it was just a little bit too much to deal with. But no, I'm locked back in, and I want to show you all the behind the scenes of what goes into being a professional athlete. So with my ankle surgery, I had an ankle arthroscopy, I think it's called. It's basically where they went in. We have a video, so if you're squeamish, maybe look away. But yeah, they basically went in and cleared all the scar tissue. So what it was is I had a heap of scar tissue at the back of the ankle, which was just rubbing and causing an impingement, which meant just like every step I put down was just chronic pain. And that's why I felt like I just really couldn't push off and like perform to the best of my ability, because it was just terrible, the pain that I was in. So yeah, we had all the scar tissue cleaned up. And then I also had this thing called crepitus at the front of my ankle, which is like across the tibant tendon, which is just here. I don't know if you can even see the scar. It's healed pretty well, but I had this sheath that goes over the tibant tendon loosened, because I could never actually move any of my toes before. And now I can. So I think that wasn't ideal, having that being too tight and not being able to really like stabilize with my feet properly. So when he was in there, he just was like, look, we'll loosen the sheath that goes over the tibant so your toes can move, and then we'll clear up all the scar tissue. So that is basically what I had done. It was like a long road back. I had like 3 months of just no running at all. And that was so tough, because I'm such an active person. I really struggled to just do nothing, and I had to be laid down 50 minutes of every hour for like the first month, which again is not easy. So I took up a little crochet hobby, and I also did my sports massage course in that time, just to keep my mind active, and did all the theory stuff while I couldn't move. So yeah, I used the time, because I can't just sit there and do nothing. But no, I'm really glad that I got that done. I don't know what I would do. I just know that I couldn't have carried on the way I was going. So yeah, it's proofs in the pudding. I have basically been back racing already a year on, and it's feeling so much better. So that is really positive news. My group now is called Golden Peaks, and I am the only New Balance girl in the group, but it is his group. And yeah, most of the athletes are from Adidas, but I can now be in it as New Balance. So it's all worked out really, really well. His name is Terence Mahone. He's extremely knowledgeable and has been in the sport for a long time. He actually coached Lindsay Sharp, I think when she was running like 157s and things like that. So yeah, he's a great coach. I'm loving the training group. The girls are amazing. It just makes such a difference being in a training group where like everyone is so lovely, everyone gets along, and it's like you just want each other to do well. And that is the main thing, you know. You want to really get on with your training partners, you want to have a good relationship with your coach, and yeah, you want to be just turning up to training and enjoying it. And that is exactly what I've been doing now for the last year. I headed out, I'm spending half my time in Flagstaff, so I'm doing 50% of my time in Flagstaff, 50% back in the UK. And I'm just loving it. I absolutely love Flagstaff. Honestly, if you're ever thinking of doing a training camp, get yourselves out there, because it is high altitude. It is good fun. There's always people to train with, and yeah, just one of the best hubs for sort of getting those training camps in and high altitude stints. When I am back home, I can jump in with the Brighton Track Club group, which Holly Parker's in, and we train together quite a bit because she kind of splits herself between Flagstaff and home as well. So we're both Brighton and Flagstaff girls. And then, yeah, Joel Kidger, he has helped me immensely, like when I'm back home, just giving me structure and a group to train with, and it's really nice for when I'm back here. So yeah, it's really working so well. Just, you know, I get that time at home where I can be with family, can be with Kyle, can be with the dog, a bit of normality, and then it gives me that real focus when I do go out to Flagstaff, because I'm like, okay, I'm locked in, I'm here for training, and I can really get the most out of my stints out there. So it's almost like come home for a bit, reset, and then go again. So it has really worked, and yeah, I'm really loving it. I have raced an 800 and a 1500. Like, I raced quite a bit, not quite a bit, but I raced a fair few times in America. I opened up with a 2 dead 800 meters, which I was really happy with. And then I went on to run at the, I think it was called the Sound Running, was it like LA Track Fest? I don't know what it was called, but it was in LA, and it was one of the sound running meets, and I came second there and ran 4:05, and I actually ran the Commonwealth Standard, which I was just so happy. It was like, honestly, exactly a year on from my operation, and I just crossed that line and I thought, right, I'm back and I know I can make these comebacks and like really push myself and get through all these hard times. Like, I honestly cannot tell you how hard it is to be injured and injured and injured and like just keep coming back and keep doing rehab. Like, to actually get back racing and running some pretty good times, running Commonwealth standards, like, it gave me so much motivation and so much joy, because I know I can be back out there on the big stage, and I've just proved it to myself that I can do these comebacks. So yeah, everything had gone super well, like a 4:05 and a 2 dead to open up my season in America. I was super, super happy. I then flew back home, ready for the European circuit, and the week I got back home, I tore my calf. So I was like, okay, this is brutal. But the whole year, sort of like leading in, I haven't been injured. Like, from my surgery, I haven't had any injuries. It's been pretty consistent. Obviously, I've had to like monitor my training and not overdo it around the ankle and things like that, just coming back. But on a whole, I haven't had any extra injuries to think about. So yeah, that was super unlucky, because it was 2 weeks before British Champs, and that meant I just couldn't race, which was super frustrating. But it's all part of it. I've done my rehab. Andy Wallin, best physio there is. He's brought me back twice now. He was the one that did all my rehab for my surgery, and he just rehabbed me back from my calf injury. So we are back running, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, everything goes smooth, that I will be racing in August. So yeah, so I should be racing at the end of this month and through to September. So I'm hoping that I will get a good stint in now. It's a bit annoying because I feel like I was just rolling, and like, once you get the momentum of the first couple races, it just snowballs and you feel better and better and better. So it's annoying that I've had to have that pause, get back to the basics and go again, and now I've got to wait for that snowball to start up again. But I'm really excited to just be back out there doing what I love, because the racing is what we want. The racing is what we train all year for. So I'm excited to be back doing that. The one I have confirmed is Belgrade on the 2nd of September. I'm entered in that and like been accepted for sure. I'm waiting on a few others, but there's also things like the Fifth Avenue Mile, things like that would be really exciting to do. But yeah, I'm just excited to get back racing, and yeah, just get back on that circuit. With my recent injury with my calf tear was another thing that I'm navigating, which is all things menstrual cycle. Now, I think it's really important to touch on this because it is such a big part of female athletes' performance. Actually, when I went through my surgery and I knew I was going to be having time off and not able to run, I decided last year in February to come off my contraceptive pill that I was on for around about, I think it was over 10 years, which actually meant I didn't have a period for around 7 years. which obviously doesn't sound healthy at all. I think it was okay because obviously with the pill, like you have enough estrogen levels and stuff to prevent like bone health problems and things like that. And my gynecologist was like saying it was going to be okay. It's not like an abnormal thing when you're running and stuff. But I just was like, do you know what? I want to give my body a break, because to have 7 years of no periods, it can't be that healthy. So I decided to give myself a break, and I've had consistent periods basically every month since May last year. It took me a while to get them back again. So yeah, it took from February to May, and then I've been really consistent since there, which just shows how healthy I am and healthy my body is. But one thing I have been finding is like when I have a race that falls on my period, like I'll be in so much pain. Like there was one race, I was literally the morning of the race on the floor, couldn't get up, like almost throwing up, like no energy, hot sweats. Like that's how bad my periods could get, which is why I originally went on the pill in the first place, because my pain would be so bad. Which was really hard. Like I can deal with it around training and adjusting, but when you have a race day, you cannot change the day of that race. So it's like you have to get on with it. And I went from running like 2 minutes the week before to running like 2:03, and that's how much it can really affect your performance. And then there's this time of the month where you're ovulating, and for me, I have such like a hormone surge and drop where I will get really crampy muscles around ovulation and things like that. And actually when my calf tear happened, it was around the time I was ovulating, and my body was just not functioning right. I had way more crampy sensations in warm up, and I thought it was normal. I thought, you know, I've always got tight calves and things like that going on. If I didn't run every time I had a tight calf, I'd never run. So I did my session, but yeah, no, it took one step and it popped, and I was on that floor, and that's been me out for 8 weeks, you know. It's like starting again. So yeah, I had to do a lot of biking, a lot of swimming during that period, which in the middle of the season is just not what you want. And then it's been 2 months on now from when I did that calf tear, and this week on Tuesday I actually had a tempo session on the track, and I could feel the crampy sensations again, because it's around the time of my ovulation again, and I thought, I can't afford a setback now, because there will be no races for this season. So I ended up doing one set of my tempo. I had like tempo 4s, and I did 4 of the reps, and I was like, that's it, I'm going home. There is no way I'm going to risk another tear for the sake of one session. But it's really hard because you have your ego, you're like, I don't want to stop, I don't want to be at the track and people think I'm like, you know, quitting my session, because that's not me. But I had to put ego aside and be like, do I want to just stop my session early today, get back in the swing of things in a couple of days' time, or do I want to push past and tear another calf and then be, you know, another 8 weeks out, and that by that point the season's done. So I think it's something I'm still navigating. I'm in the process of talking with gynecologists at the moment whether I go back on the pill and sort of explore some other avenues. But yeah, if you have any information around these topics, like I would love any advice, because a lot of girls struggle with this, and a lot of girls are so different. Like none of us have the same periods, and I think it's really important that like the more awareness we can spread and help each other, the better. So yeah, that's another thing that we are navigating. My little bearsy boy, I'll go and get him. He's now 10. He had his 10th birthday this year, so he's an old man, but he's doing good. I was actually maybe thinking about bringing him out to America for one of my camps, but yeah, I just want to make sure that he's all good to do the travel, because it is quite a long travel, but he will be allowed on the plane with me, because he's under 8 kg, he can be on with me. So potentially he might do a little trip to America this year, but we will wait and see. Okay guys, so that is the end of the video. I hope that I have cleared some things up on where I've been MIA, and yeah, just if you have any more questions, put them in the comments. But I hope that I've cleared most of the things up that I've been away for, and what's happened in between here and the last video. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and expect more videos to come.